Good morning, everybody. How was the tip this morning? Good. Getting started a little early here, but my name is Dava White. I am with Zephyr Networks, and we do computer stuff. We've recently bought out a company called Orange County Online, which gives us an even broader area of ways to help everybody here in the tip, as well as any tips that you give us. So today I wanted to talk about the technology essentials, if I can speak today, that you'll need for your business. Just some basic stuff that whether you're starting out a new business or whether you have been in business for a while, that you kind of need nowadays with all the internet and Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff. And I'm also going to answer the questions that everybody gave me a couple weeks ago. So, first thing you need is you're going to need some sort of internet connectivity. Can we imagine what it was like 20 years ago before the internet became so big? It's kind of hard to look back to that, because nowadays if you don't have that internet, you don't have email, you don't have a website, all this other stuff that you can't do. Through Orange County Online, we now offer high-speed DSL and T1 lines to help your business with that. The other thing you're going to need is a domain name. So once you pick out that really great mycompany.com name, and you see Ed for all your design needs, and you see Sean for your website, once you get that going, you're going to need your email, and you're going to need web hosting to get that out there on the internet for the world to see. And these are all services that Zephyr Networks can now provide through our Orange County Online. If you are selling anything, you need that e-commerce shopping cart so that clients can go through and select, I want this, and they can check out. You get your money, they get their products. And that's another service that Orange County Online offers now with Zephyr Networks. The other things that you're going to need, email. Snail mail is great, but everything happens at the speed of the internet nowadays, so you need that email to correspond. And one of the other services that we offer is Colocation. And essentially what Colocation is we have a warehouse of servers that we can store all of your data there. It's a good form of backup, it's a good form of redundancy, so that should your local network go down, you can run all of your business needs over the internet through servers at a secondary location with very little downtime to be back up and running and be productive again. So you don't have a whole lot of downtime and there's not a whole lot of loss. And all the colocation facilities are very secure. They're in buildings that are meant to be fireproof. They have fake floors so that it's a great place to be on a hot summer day because they are very air conditioned. And they're very secure. Nobody gets in there without a tag, and everybody's been vetted and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very secure location. One of the questions that everybody had is, what's the difference of a cloud versus local? And everybody has a good idea of what local is. I'm sitting here in front of my laptop, my desktop, or I have that desktop in the office next door. And that's local. Everything is right there where you can kind of see it, touch it. Cloud computing takes it to the next level, where you are using the internet. You are using a service like Colocation, using the internet to go out across, or you're using applications that are running off of the internet. Google Apps is one. Microsoft's Office 365 is one. You can do your email, your Word documents, your spreadsheets, all of that through Office 365 and use that cloud. It is nice because it is sort of a redundancy and you get that backup of a sort. But if you lose your internet, you're kind of down. So it does have its pros and it does have its cons. But you can run all kinds of stuff up there. You can have your applications, you can have your database, you can use mobile, like your phones, your tablets and so forth. You can have your servers up there. You can do just about anything up there nowadays. One of the other questions that everybody asked me about was backups. And I use the little icon of a little floppy drive because we've come so far from that. Yeah, 1.4 megabytes. That was like a woohoo back in the day. I can still remember working with 8-inch floppy drives, which held very little data. So nowadays we have little thumb drives. You have your USB drives, which are 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. You can back stuff up to a local computer. You can back stuff up to a colocation on another computer. And there's various online services that back stuff up over the internet to their servers, to whoever, and it's a pay-for service, but they'll back up to X amount of data. You can back them up daily, nightly, weekly, whatever you want to set up. There are different softwares that you can run. There's Windows backup, and MacTime machine, which are local to your individual desktop or laptop. And you can copy those to a separate drive, like a flash drive or a USB drive, or just simply another directory on your computer, because most everybody nowadays has at least a 500 gigabyte hard drive. There's other software that you can run, which is purchasable software, like ShadowProtect is what we use. It works for all OSs and file data. You can copy it to a local drive, or you can copy it offsite to another location, like a colocation or a cloud server. The nice thing about ShadowProtect is if your computer completely crashed, we can restore all those Windows files, all your data files. There's no need to pop in a DVD, install software after software after software, and then copy your data over. We can get you back up and running probably within about 2 hours, as opposed to several hours to get individual programs and everything installed. Then there's online services like Mozy, which is a great service. We have several clients who use it, and it runs like a champ. It does have its issues here and there. If you lose your internet, it kind of freaks out and says, oh, I don't know what to do anymore. And you basically just have to force it to see the internet, run a manual backup, and then it goes, oh, hey, now I know what to do. And it's a great service. It copies data files, though. It does not copy operating system files.
ShadowProtect does.
It does protect your data, but if your computer were to crash, you'd have to put in that DVD for Windows or your Mac, reinstall everything, get all your programs reinstalled one by one, and then you can copy the data back over. It's just a little bit longer of a process to get you back up and running in that worst case scenario.
ShadowProtect paid also?
Yeah, ShadowProtect on the desktop is probably around $90.
A month?
No, it's a software that you buy one time.
Okay.
And they do give updates throughout the year, which is great about them. On a server level, it's a few $100s, because it's just more involved at that level.
It will keep your applications to like your words, your...
Yeah, ShadowProtect will catch everything you have. It essentially, yeah, ShadowProtect essentially takes a snapshot of exactly how your computer is right now, all the operating system files, all the programs that you have installed, all the data that you have on there.
And even though you get the new computer with a new upgrade of Windows, can you have it working like your old one?
With the operating system, you want to be careful there, because the operating systems do have their specific requirements, but to put all the data back on there would not be a problem. You would have to reinstall the software if it's a brand new computer, because there are certain things that set up between the operating system and the programs that are installed. So, but at least for the data-wise, you could just copy all that in one shot. The other question everybody had was about a UPS, which stands for uninterruptible power supply, which is really a misnomer, because essentially it's like the cell phone battery that you have. It has a certain charge, and once it's gone, it's gone. It doesn't truly do that. You do have to have it plugged into the wall, and then your computer's plugged into that. But it is good to have, especially if you have a computer that does need to run. Most of the battery backups that we have nowadays do have a way to, as their battery runs down, to shut down your machine so that it shuts down properly, as opposed to just having the power cut. And other things that we do offer through Zephyr Networks and Orange County Online is multi-layered security. You would definitely want to make sure you have passwords protected for everything that you have, and that business continuity. So, and I'm out of time. Okay. One of the other questions everybody had was the differences of Windows 7 and Windows 8. If any of you have seen Windows 8, you kind of probably took a little jump back and went, whoa, what the heck is this? Because they did come up with a new design. It has a new functionality. It's a more of a visual impact, and it relies a lot more on keyboard shortcuts. So if you're somebody who likes keyboard shortcuts, you'll really take to Windows 8 much better. Where Windows 7 still had that same look, still had very much point and click with the mouse and everything that we were all used to. With Windows 8, they took away the start button, which even from a techie standpoint, it was like, what the heck are you thinking? What did you do to us here? It usually takes a good 2 weeks to kind of get the workflow of Windows 8, and then it comes very naturally. It is a very much more visual design, but it's very functional. You can still buy Windows 7. They have not done a cutoff date for when they will stop selling Windows 7, but I would encourage people to move forward, because in 2015, although they still haven't announced the date, We are getting Windows 10, which as you can see is a bit of a blend. It gets kind of cut off at the bottom of the screen there, but it's a bit of a blend. There is still something of a start button. You'll have more of that traditional start menu, but they are kind of blending it with the Windows 8 being more graphic and visual. So.
Cartoon, more cartoon.
That's